What's going on, everybody? It's Complexity, and unfortunately today is a very, very sad day. For those of you who don't know, Charlie Kirk was assassinated earlier today while he was on a tour having conversations with the youth. You can describe it however you want. You can say he was pushing his political agenda. You can say he was enacting hate speech. You could say, honestly, whatever the actual fuck you want. What you can't say is that he deserved to be shot for giving his political positions, his political ideology, his political beliefs, his religious beliefs, whatever in the fuck you think that you do not like about this man. There is no way, shape, hell, form, whatever the fuck you want to say. There is no reason why this man should have been shot in the goddamn neck by a fucking coward who was unwilling to create actual change by going through proper channels, educating themselves, putting forth legislation, or challenging the legislation that they currently do not agree with, or challenging the person whose ideology they do not believe in or agree with. Nothing has ever come from these assassinations or assassination attempts. No change has ever started with violence. No change has ever begotten from violence in a way like this. There's a difference. Yes, violence has created change. Obviously, look at all the wars we've been in, whether we won them or we lost them. It can enact change, but violence is supposed to be used in defense of those things that we hold precious to ourselves. As a Marine, I look at this and I think to myself, of all the brothers that came before me, and sisters in blue who laid down their lives for the ability for you to say what you want, for the freedom of speech, not the freedom of some speech, not the freedom of speech that I like, not the freedom of speech that empowers me, empowers my side of the aisle, not the freedom of speech that denounces the other side or cripples the other side, for the freedom of all speech, and yes, even hate speech, because you may dislike me. You may dislike what I stand for. You may dislike whatever it is about me. But at the end of the day, I signed a piece of paper that said I would die for your right to voice your hatred of me. And I stand by that 10 toes down. As all men and women who came before me, whose bodies were never recovered in unknown places, buried under unknown dirt, who all decided that their life did not mean nearly as much as the right and the freedoms that we are provided here in America. Not everything's good, no, but it's a lot better than other fucking places where you get shot just for speaking your mind. And unfortunately, it's getting harder and harder to make that claim for America. I made a post today that said something along the lines of, we need not fear our government silencing the people because the people are doing it themselves. And if you don't understand what that means, I can't help you. I just can't. This is a very dark day, the same as the Trump assassination attempt, where we covered that here back in the day. And nothing will come from this. This man will be seen as a martyr. For all of those of you who are happy he's dead, he will be gained more popularity than you've ever seen. His videos will be played, memoriams will be made. You gained nothing. You silenced one person, and all that's going to do is make somebody with even more vitriol in their blood to take his place and be even less understanding, be even less willing to talk. Because when you show somebody that your response to conversation is violence, violence will be done untowards you. That is the way it works. I have always said this. We've always said this here on the channel. No matter how far to the left or to the right the pendulum swings, you must always be ready for when it swings back towards the opposite end. So while you might be happy today that this motherfucker is dead when he shouldn't have been, you never know what might happen next. You never know the freedoms that can be taken away. This man, regardless of whatever it is that you believe he's done wrong or he has done wrong, there was no reason for him to have ever feared being murdered while going around and talking about his beliefs. It's a dark day in America. And to everybody who's happy about it, just wait. Just wait. As the old saying goes, what goes around comes around, and I'm not advocating for violence, but when you do violence, as I've said, it will be done on towards you. This is not a call to action. This is just the truth. It is an unfortunate situation where in America, the people are silencing themselves.